Currently on a hot air balloon. Woo! We're about to have breakfast at the most beautiful place I've probably ever had breakfast.
Literally insane.
Oh my god.
This is just the most epic, awesome trip you can possibly do. I cannot recommend it enough.
And start to be separate from the mom. But he will has all the information on behind the umbrella. I see this is very big group in the behind the umbrella. There is some. See, the area is very green, a lot of food, but also they are not eating same food. And start to be separate from the mom. But he will has all the information on the problem how this memory getting the problem to the elephant. For example,
Currently on a hot air balloon. Woo! Just got off the hot air balloon.
Actually, here's a better one.
Oh man. Mozambique.
I think he said he was joking, but
Okay, we can go.
hello.
We're about to have breakfast at the most beautiful place I've probably ever had breakfast.
literally insane.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Swiss Italian is very different though, right?
So we're currently at breakfast. We just went on a hot air balloon ride, mini safari, and it was easily like the coolest thing in my entire life. The hot air balloon ride, I thought it was gonna be kind of scary, but it was so peaceful. And then on the way back, we used to keep going for the rest of the day. Stop. Okay, going back on another safari.
Do you need your water?
Ooh. Okay, we are back at the lodge. We were gone for about 12 hours today, but it was honestly like the coolest day ever. Definitely my favorite day of the trip. We did so much. We did the hot air balloon, and then we did like 7 hours of game drives, and the game drives were really incredible. We saw a whole lot of cool animals. My favorite was maybe the cheetah. We watched the cheetah for honestly like 30 to 40 minutes, and the cheetah was just kind of sitting there. There were cubs, but we couldn't see them that well. It was a little far away, but it was just really peaceful because we were in kind of a remote part of the park, and we got to just relax and just like watch them, and there was no one else around, because there have been a couple times where there's been a really hectic commotion around the animals because there's a lot of different game drive vehicles. But the cheetahs were just us, and it was incredible. So completely amazing. So that was it. That was our last game drive. We have one day back in kind of the Nairobi area, and a dinner tomorrow night, and then our flight leaves the following day, but we have the whole day. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe explore some of Nairobi. A couple just like tips about safari. And I think this can apply to Kenya safaris, but it can also apply to like safaris everywhere. First thing, make sure you're not wearing big bulky shoes. So I brought hiking boots, wanted the safari aesthetic, and hiking boots were like not the move. I also brought Air Force Ones, and I wore those every single game drive. The reason is you're constantly standing up and down because it's an open roof. So having big clunky shoes is just not the move. Not like to have the cool safari vibe. You could maybe look for shoes in like a specific color, but I wouldn't recommend big. Okay, second tip that I have is to just be extra kind to your tour guide, and especially the person who's driving your game drive vehicle. I guess it's not really a tip, but they work really long hours, and they're honestly probably exhausted, but they know the area so well. And sometimes it might take a little bit of time to like get to an animal, or you have to wait a little bit because the animal's sleeping, but they're really, really good at their jobs. So you kind of just have to have trust and faith in them. There are also rules for probably different countries, but definitely different national parks and for different animals about how close you can get. And on your game drive, you're definitely going to see some tour guides not following those rules. And if your tour guide is following that rule and it means that you don't get like the cool epic shot that you want, that is okay, because they probably know where another animal is that you want to see. Going along with the animals one, most animals, at least in the countries and in the national parks that you're going to be looking at, my experiences with Kenya, but probably a lot of other places, most animals are active in the morning and at night. So if you do a game drive in the morning, you might see the animals a little bit more active, and if you do a game drive around sunset, you might see them more active, and you might even see them hunting, which is really cool. But during the day, I have found that they're not the most active because it's the hottest part of the day. So you'll still see them. Like today we saw so many lions, a cheetah, we saw like ostriches and giraffe and elephants, but they weren't moving around as much as they do at the beginning of the day and at the end. So safari might mean that you have to get up a little bit earlier or stay out a little bit later, but it's definitely worth it. My next tip is to do the hot air balloon ride. Even if you're scared of heights, or even if you don't think it sounds super cool, it actually was like the coolest thing I've ever done. I really, really recommend it. It is not as cold as you think it will be. So if you're gonna like bundle up and wear a ton of layers, I would recommend just making sure that you can get them off easily, because we were told that it was gonna be super cold and I actually was like completely fine the whole hot air balloon. But yeah, I have a couple more tips, but I'll save those for another time. This is just the most epic, awesome trip you can possibly do. I cannot recommend it enough. And hopefully this video was helpful if you are also thinking about going to Kenya, or planning a Kenya safari, or you just want to know what to expect, or you just want to see videos of cool animals. But thank you so much. I will see you next time.